Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a Valentine's Day makeup tutorial. It's the last one that I wanted to do. I really hope you enjoy the video. I wanted this look to be something that you could kind of dress up or dress down, wear neutral, or really go out there and put a bold lip on. I hope you enjoy the video, and if you want to know how I created the look, then please keep watching. Okay, so to start off with, I'm moisturizing my skin with the Neals Rose Oil. I just take a few drops and then rub that all over the neck and face. Next, I took my Rimmel London liquid illuminators, and these are actually liquid illuminators, but I like using them as primers. So I'm taking two shades, Notting Hill Glow and Piccadilly Glow, and just rubbing them together and then rubbing them all over my face. For foundation, I took my L'Ore'l Nude Magique Cushion Foundation, and I used that on my Morphe M439 brush. So I like to just basically dab the brush into the product itself and then buff that into my skin and also pat into my skin, just so it kind of sinks deeper. Now this foundation is a really medium coverage, but you can easily get full coverage. For this look, I wanted to keep it at a medium coverage so it was still nice and dewy. So for contour, I'm taking my LA Girl Pro Conceal, and this is in the shade Beautiful Bronze. So I'm just basically going over my forehead, my cheekbones, and contouring my nose. Then I moved on to my lips and then under my chin ever so slightly. I actually just recently started contouring my lips, so I'm going to do a complete video on that, so stay tuned and make sure you subscribe to my channel. And now I'm just taking my foundation brush and ever so gently and carefully blending out my contour using this brush. Now I think I went in a bit heavy-handed with this contour cream here, but never mind, we are going to blend it out, and it is very blendable, so I love using this and just kind of highlight my face a bit more. So that just made everything look a little bit more bronzed and beautiful, and I blended everything out except my nose contour. I left that just a little bit longer. Moving on now to Pro Conceal in Porcelain. Now this is I wouldn't say heavy duty concealer, but you can definitely build it up, and it's very, very creamy. So I love using this, and it's got great coverage. So I'm just applying this in all the normal spots, in the middle of my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, triangle under my eyes, small amount on my eyelids to use as my primer for my eyeshadow, and then a smaller bit around my mouth where my smile lines are, on my chin, and then also on the jawline to sharpen up my contour. Using my foundation brush, I'm just buffing out all of that concealer, minus my under eyes. I'm going to leave that in place so I can use a different brush. Now I'm just taking my Neals Yard Oil on another smaller Morphe brush and applying that to the brush itself. And then I'm going to use the brush to buff out my concealer under my eyes. What this basically does is just makes everything more seamless and melt into my skin, so it doesn't look like a really cakey, overdone face. So to set all my makeup in place, I'm just going to take the Tecnic Colour Fix powder, and this is in the shade Buff. So just using the same brush that I buffed out the concealer with, I'm just going to set that all over my face. Now I'm just going to take this Caudelie facial spray and spritz my face with that, so I can kind of melt all the makeup into my skin. And moving on to brows, I'm using this Colourpop eyebrow pencil, which I really didn't like when I first got, but now I actually love, and it's running out. But it's really easy to work with, and it's very, very blendable and very creamy, but also really pigmented, so I love it, and the price point is unbeatable. the brows in place, I'm using the L'Oreal Plump Artiste. I love this. I've used it many times before. You've seen me use it many times. So you know the drill, just going ahead and combing out the eyebrows. So I'm just taking the Tartlette in Bloom palette by Tarte, and I'm taking the third shade on the bottom row, which is a really nice kind of warm tanned brownish colour with a hint of red, I'd say. And on a long fluffy brush, I'm just going to start building up my crease transition shade. So I want it to be kind of a really warm, beautiful, seamless transition. Then I picked up this shorter fluffy brush, and I wanted to use the same shade just to build up the intensity slightly. And then I just laid down the same shade on the lower lash line. From the Tartlette in Bloom palette, I took this first white shade, and I just used that on the angle brush to kind of highlight my brow bone. And I wanted it to be a very kind of subtle matte white kind of highlight. And from the Tartlette palette, I'm taking the very black matte shade in the corner. It's almost like a charcoal black, so I didn't realise at the time, but what I found was using this, as much as I layered it, it just wasn't getting the blackest black. It was still like a very, very dark grey black, which I kind of was a bit upset about, but we worked with it. It was fine. I like the look in the end anyway. So what I did was I just took the Tarte brush this is, and it's just like a really short stubby brush, but it's nice to kind of get lots of pigment onto the lid. So I just layered the black as I went along. Step by step, I found that the colour was getting muted. So there was a lot of adding the browns and the blacks back as I was working through doing my eyes. And when I got to this point, I just wanted to add, again on the angled brush, just a little bit of black in my lower lash line and really close to my lashes. And that was just to kind of bring out my lashes when I had the mascara on. Okay, so to get it to this point, all I really kept doing was adding more black in my eyelids, or on my eyelids should I say, and more brown on my transition and crease area. And then, like you see me doing here, just blending the two together so they look seamlessly blended and there's no harsh lines. I curled my lashes and added mascara off camera, and then taking the Revolution blush palette on the two medium shades there. I'll list the name of the palette in the description bar. I'm just stippling it on my cheeks for a more kind of flushed and natural look. And because I wanted a more kind of brownish blushy, I added the contour kind of shade in another Revolution palette, which I'll list below, and I just stippled that onto my cheek, so I was happier with that. I wanted a more kind of bronzy blush. So from the Tarte palette, the Pro Tarte palette, I took on my highlighter brush, the first shade, and I haven't used this shade before, but I was so impressed. Oh my goodness, look at that. It is absolutely blinding, and these blushes are, no, not blushes, highlights. They are stunning, absolutely stunning. A tiny little dab in the pan really goes a long way. You really don't have to use a lot of it, and they are so beautiful on the skin. They absolutely don't kind of increase the texture on your face whatsoever. They really minimize the pores. They just glide on. They are beautiful. Next, I applied my lashes off camera. So I went for a very natural kind of fluttery lash. And then I just took this LA Girl black eyeliner marker, and I went over the lash band just to hide the glue and make it look more natural. Next, I coated my waterlines, so that's upper and lower, with this black gel liner. So next I just prime my lips using the Lip Tar by OCC, I think. I'll list it in the description bar. So for lip 1, I took the Colourpop Lippy Pencil in the shade Chai, and I just lined my lips and filled them in ever so slightly. And then taking Colourpop's Lippy Stick in the shade Cami, I just filled in the rest of my lips. So here you have the lip option 1. Applying the lip tar gives it a more of a glossy kind of lip, but the focus is completely on the eyes with this look. So I really love the way it looks because it's more natural and more daytime than it is evening, but you could completely rock this in the evening 100%. But for the next look, we needed this black lip liner. So I just wanted to kind of line my lips and fill in the edges. Okay, to fill in my lips, I'm using mcgrath's Vermillion Venom, and this is the bright red that was in the kit. So I'm just kind of filling my lips in completely and then smushing them together to really mix in the ombre and get it much darker, much deeper and much richer in colour. I don't know why I wasn't feeling the colour. Looking at the screen now, it looks amazing, but I added this red by NYX just to kind of make it a little bit more vibrant, and then I decided I didn't like that, so then I wiped it off using a towel, and then I went back in with the NYX just to kind of awaken it a bit more and give it a bit more life, and then I was happy with the colour. So I intensified the edges just to bring out the ombre a little bit more, and that was the final lip 2 option. For option 3, I took this orangey red lip liner by LA Girl, and I just lined and filled in my lips. And taking another Colourpop lippy stick in the shade Trust Me. This is my favourite red of all time, I think. I absolutely love it. I just filled in my entire lip. And then taking my black liner, just starting from the corners of my lips and filling them in ever so gently. So it's not kind of a middle ombre, this is an outer ombre. So I'm just going over the black lip line with the red lip liner, and that's just to make sure everything looks more kind of put together and seamlessly blended. Okay, so this lip gloss is really, really old, I'm ashamed to admit. It's by Estee Lauder, and it's the only thing I can compare it to is the Sigma Lip Switch. So it's like a holographic lip gloss, as you can see when I apply it, but it's so glossy and wet looking, and it really is reflective. So when the light catches it like a prism, it kind of reflects different lights, but for the most part it does just look like a clear gloss on your lips. So this was look 3. My last look, I took the Anastasia liquid lipsticks in Milkshake and Dusty Rose. First I took Dusty Rose and applied that all over my lips, and then taking Milkshake, I just dotted it in the center of the upper and lower lip, and using my middle finger I just kind of dabbed it around and made sure that it looked nicely blended and had that ombre look. And so that is lip option 4, which I think is my favourite of all, just because I'm a nude lipstick lover, or like a light pink dusty rose kind of lipstick lover. But yeah, I really like the way these looks all turned out. Each of them is stunning, I think. Let me know what you think, leave me a comment, definitely give me a thumbs up if you like the video, of course, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I am uploading at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, so don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss out on any of the videos I upload. And other than that, happy Valentine's everyone, and I will see you all real soon. Mwah.